What's up, guys? Ken Novitsky back with another episode of The Sharp Cut. This was supposed to be an Iron Edge episode with a guest, but unfortunately we had some scheduling conflicts, so you're going to listen to me instead. Anyway, let's dive in. So this one sort of follows on from last week's episode where we were talking about comparison and it being the thief of joy. What I want to talk about this time is the ability to pivot. I feel like in athletics and sport, being able to pivot after a bad session, a bad um, contest prep, a bad competition is very, very, very important. But more so than that, the ability to pivot in life is even more important. Because let's be honest, we're never going to have everything go our way exactly how we have it planned in our head. And that's where this follows on from last time, that we get so sucked in to either comparing ourselves to other people on social media or comparing ourselves to this preconceived notion that we have in our heads of how life is going to be, or how you know reaching a goal is going to be, whether it's in work, relationships, sports, whatever. And we get sucked in and sort of locked in and zoned in on that, so much so at times that when something does go awry, because let's be honest, it's going to go awry, that some of us get sort of stuck, and then I've definitely done it. It becomes a case of, like, you get stuck in this negative mindset because, you're not able to just sort of roll with the punches, as they say. And I mean, I'm not saying, accept the bullshit or accept that things go wrong or be happy about it or anything like that. Like, if shit goes wrong, you can be upset about it. But at the end of the day, what does being upset do for you? Long term, it's not really solving a problem. So, like, what are you going to do about it? And that's where the whole pivoting thing comes in. If something happens and the preconceived plan of reaching X goal you had is now gone, what are you going to do? Because it's that whole age old thing of, here's the goal, here's the here's the destination, and it's never like a straight line. It's always ups and downs and peaks and troughs and valleys and all that sort of stuff, that you just have to roll with it, and you have to sort of accept that it's never going to be an easy deal. And fuck, I mean, for some people it feels like life is an easy deal. It's always going to have a challenge, and that's the beauty of life as well. I think that's the part where, at least in my experience, when I've had to pivot to whatever it is, whether it's in life or whether it's in a sporting capacity, having to pivot is actually the part that has taught me more about myself than actually the success of reaching the goal or hitting the PR, or whatever it may be. And being able to learn how you respond to those shitty situations or things that you don't see coming. I think that's what makes us really enjoy life, and it takes away the comparison. Because let's put it this way, like, if you're looking at somebody on social media and you're thinking all this stuff is going fantastic for them, and then your life is crappy, well, that's all you're just seeing that. It's not, you have no idea what the reality is. So instead of sitting comparing yourself to that, learn to pivot, learn to, I guess, enjoy the 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 times where things go awry, and enjoy the process of making it right, finally reaching the destination, hitting the PR, getting the job, whatever it is. And yeah, I think that would change a lot of people's life experience. Um, I'm not out here saying I've got the best life. I'm not out here saying I've got the least stressful life, or anything like that. Like, there's challenges. And I think we all can relate to each other through those different challenges. And we might not have the same ones as everybody else, but everyone has something. So I think that's where you should be having some comparison, and not comparison as such, but just the ability to reflect with others. But when it comes down to it, you're the one that has to reach your own goals. You're the one that has to figure it out when stuff goes awry, pivot, whatever terminology you want to use. And learning to pivot is 100%, in my opinion, the biggest tool you can have to have a successful life. Hope you've liked my rant today, or my ramblings. I'll catch you down the road. We'll have a guest episode next week, so tune in for that one.